All right, all right. Well, I guess I have to cancel this. The sound of that. I don't know what's going on with the camera. It's not grabbing the microphone. So I just imported the microphone by itself. And I probably have to stay on this view. Okay, so give me a few seconds again. I'll be back. All right. Yeah. Eesh. I fixed the issue. Let's see if that works with the other screens. Let me try something here. I'm sorry for all these stupid problems. All right. So bear with me for a second. I'm having issues with the sound. I don't know what's going on here. I hope the camera is not frozen. The camera is not frozen. It's still working. All right, so let me check again this. No, it's not that. Okay. Let's go back to the screen. Hopefully you can hear it. Can you hear me? Yeah, I think so. Now I can delete this right here. All right, it still works. Cross your fingers. Today I'm using a phone as a camera, so I hope I have to remember to stay in this. How you doing? Sorry for all this delay. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Apparently the microphone froze. I had set up OBS that the camera microphone is my studio microphone, and out of the sudden it was not working. Well, now it's working. Now let me start straight here. So today we're gonna talk about, I'm going to review Affinity Publisher. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I'm cheating a little bit because I already have Photo and Designer. So many of the things that I'm gonna show you is expanded because Photo and Designer. Now, I create some design and the cover of this transmission, I made it on Publisher without any tools extras from a Photo and Designer. So Publisher is made specifically for publications, but as you see, you can since you can combine Photo and Designer, you can create many other stuff more than just publications, either digital or printed publications. Downside, pros and cons. So I'm going with the cons first. Affinity Publisher is a new application, so you have to understand that all the standards for all the printers, offset printers and digital printers, all the standards are based on PDF, and PDF is owned by, you guessed right, Adobe. So many of the functionalities of Publisher probably conflict with offset printing, probably not that much with digital printing. So if your workflow depends on printing, using press to print your products, you have to consider it. You can still use it, and I publish everything for my 9 to 5, for my 8 to 5 with Affinity Publisher, and I haven't received any complaint. But I've been reading on the Affinity Publisher forum, and they do have many threads about Affinity Publisher issues. So as I say, I've been working for 3 years. A year now with the 8 to 5, I migrated everything from Affinity InDesign to Affinity Publisher. So I haven't had any issues, but the company I work for, they don't depend on publishing paperback. They mostly publish everything on PDF. So most of the time our customer will go to our website and download the documentation, user manuals, and other stuff. And I know the R&D department, the person that it created, the technical writer for that company, it also uses Affinity Designer for the user manuals and such. So with that note aside, everything else from Affinity Publisher, if you are a digital artist that does not depend on printing, on double spread printing for the document printing, then I think you're gonna love this application. So without further ado, let's go and check our Affinity Publisher. As you see, this application, I created everything here without touching any of the personas. The personas are the icons that you see on the top left of your application and of the screen that you see here. You see there. Those icons, if you have Affinity Photo and Affinity Designers, you will see them like this, like a grayed out color. If you don't have them, they're gonna be grayed. So keep that in mind. Today I'm going to show you most of the things that you can do in Affinity Publisher without needing Affinity Photo and Affinity Designer. Then I'm going to show you why the full studio, I call it studio, but they don't call Affinity Designers Affinity Studio or Affinity Suite or anything. I call them like that because I consider that if you're gonna invest in this application, you should buy the 3 of them. There are only $54.99, I think it is now. So the 3 of them, it would be about $165. So I will recommend that if you can invest in $165, I will go with that bind. But if you can, I will suggest you to decide which workflow are you gonna use the most. If you are most guided towards photo editing, composition, and other stuff, go with Affinity Photo. If you are more into vector design, clean design, motion, uh, uh, motion graphics, and things like that that are more simpler, it doesn't require much big map effects, then I will suggest Affinity Designer. Now, if you can afford, if you are more guided into create publications, Affinity Publisher, as it comes from the download, it works perfectly. It can do most of everything that you need. Now you can do Affinity Publisher. This is something that you can do, and I'm offering you the option. You can have Inkscape, which is free. It's a vector graphic application. It's as robust as Designer, but is a long learning curve. Then you can work, and would be the same workflow with Publisher. If you had to make a change or something like that, you have to go back to Inkscape or GIMP, and then come back here. The same thing that you do with Adobe products. If you had to retouch an image that you brought to InDesign, you say, oh no, I cannot do this here, you had to go to Photoshop. The same thing. If you don't own Affinity Photo or Affinity Designer, you had to go to whatever application you use to create your vector logos and stuff, and compositions. Well, those are pros and cons. Now let's go back here and see. As you see, I created this document where I have the description that I paste on YouTube description. So I created this, and you see it looks like a publication, something, a flyer, a set of flyer, or a marketing strategy book. I forget the name. It's been a long time since I don't do. It's been a long time since I don't do publications, so forgive me for not having the proper. My brain deletes everything that doesn't use often. So that's how it works. Now, as you see, I created everything. I have my vector objects here. I have my picture of that ugly guy that is over there, and I have my logos, and I brought all the logos from the logo from YouTube, and all the other logos for the other. If you want to follow me, please, if you like this video, subscribe. If you like to stay connected with me, subscribe to the channel in YouTube, either YouTube, Odyssey, Rumble, Cloud Hub. I will appreciate it. If you want to help with the channel, if you want to help me to create more content, just give me a tip. And the tips, you can give it in HTTPS. I'm gonna set up. I don't think I have anything with. I set it up here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get rid of the studio, and I'm going to add here a text, so I can put it here. You see, I was not ready. Support text. Do I have? So if you want to help me, you can subscribe to the channels. That would perfect, and you can share it. But if you want to help me maintain this all this thing, the studio, and create content for you guys, you can tip me, and I will put the text here. Is gonna be https rvila.us.support channel. I think it's in the description below, but just in case, here it is. It's massive. It's massive. Sorry, my screen is really small because I have the chat and everything on the same screen. So if you want to support me, just go there. That uses PayPal, secure server transaction, and that will take you to my tip page on Stream Elements. Cool. All right, so now that you see that, I'm gonna remove it. I don't want to show that. By the way, every time someone tip me, you're gonna be here. You're gonna show up here. So that I will give a shout out to you guys, and thank you only for watching. I really appreciate that. So okay, so Affinity Designer, as you see, is you have your pages layout, and for example, I create this page, but this page has all the elements in screen, and so you can see, oops, there you go, that's not snapping. So all the elements are individual here, but for example, if I'm gonna in here, since this is geared to people that create magazines and different publications, even presentations, you can make presentation if you don't require fancy animations, all that, and you don't have PowerPoint or Keynote. You can use this to make presentation. That if you don't, as I say, if you don't want any animation. But I haven't tested animated WebP images, because you can import WebP images into the application, but it doesn't have WebP export capabilities. Sorry for that. So you, as I said, since this is geared more to that people that create publications, you can create master pages. It has a section for master pages. So if I'm gonna copy this, so you know what I mean. I'm copying that background, and I go here and I set that as the master page. Now, as you see, now my first page, it got all messed up because it has a background. Now I have to create a new master page, add new master. Okay, and in here I'm gonna paste that again, but I'm going to delete this. I'm gonna grab that, and I'm gonna make this solid black. So now I have two masters, and I right click on this, apply master, and I'm gonna say use the black background only, and there you go. Now my master affect this one because this is master A and this is master B. And now every time I create a new page, add a page, and I said after page after page 2 using master A, I hit OK. Now I have new page, and this is the master. So every page that I create, it will use that specific master, so I don't have to copy and paste. So that's the beauty of of using a desktop publishing application for people that create publications. This is geared towards that. Now, for the person that is creating an overlay and stuff like that, then you don't need any of that. And with that said, I'm going come here. I'm going to create apply add master, and in this master I'm going to call it green screen, because I'm not sure if I can make. I'm pretty sure we can, but just in case, if we can, you can do this also. So I can select create this object rectangle, and I'm going to put a strong green screen, and then I call that the green screen. I'm gonna rename this the black background, and this general. So basically, now I can come to this one and I say I want this apply master green screen. So when you bring the graphic that you create here to OBS, you apply the filter green screen to the image that you export, and voila, you have your transparent overlays. So you can overlay in top of the elements that you have, the screen and the camera. So for that, let me see, what do I have here? So I only have, okay, so I have I'm just checking the scenes on to make sure. So what we're gonna do, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna create elements that I can use on OBS here in Publisher. So let's see setup. So you can have transparent background. So I really don't need the green screen. What I need is just delete. Come here to the green screen and delete it, and I'm going to change this to transparent background, transparent background. So we actually can create transparent graphics here with Publisher. As you see, it has capabilities as designer and photo on a publication guided application. So if you decide to start with Affinity Publisher, keep that in mind, that you can do many stuff. Limited, but you can do many stuff, because for example, these functions, these adjustment layers, you can apply, so you can make basic edits to images that you bring. For example, if I come here, do I have stocks here? Yeah, I have it. I just move it here. This is the layout that I created. Normally it comes with the pages, master and pages here, and text, edit, the text editor, the paragraph and stuff. I think it comes by default. This comes here. I'm not sure, but probably not, because I'm gonna move this there. So now I have everything there. So as you see, Affinity, it works a lot like the Adobe product, so you are be very familiar. If you come from Adobe to Affinity, as I say in my previous live stream, you you can um, you you can learn faster. It has a short learning curve. I'm sorry that things I was not planning to talk about, but yeah, let's go back to the design. All right, so I have my stocks here. I'm gonna move them so I have them as in photo, so I know where to look for. Let's, for example, let bring a photo from the web. So probably it's retouched, so I might not need to retouch it, and that's what you need to think about. If you use a lot of stock photos, you probably are working with photos that has already been retouched, so you don't need to make a lot of adjustment. A person that, when you work in an agency, the person that does publication normally does not do photo composition. The advantage of Affinity Designer is that at least the person that, if it needs to make a quick change or something, for example, uh, the image need a little bit uh, more of the graphic from the left, or more, it need to be centered more towards the left, or centered to move towards the the framework should fit more for a design that the main character is in the right or the left, or you can do those changes directly here. And I forgot to shave my head. You see, that's what happened when you eat a lot of junk food in your youth. So if you're young, stop eating junk food. No McDonald's. Russia people will be happy. They won't get fat. Nah, since McDonald's and other stuff are not doing anything there. All right. So basically, since the publisher is a desktop, so desktop works more with images that has already been retouched. So now if you're a person like me that you can be doing publications in one day, and then an hour later you had to do photo retouching and all the stuff, the day after you had to do video editing and all the stuff, that you're what you call it, a one musician band, then this workflow will help you. The workflow set for Affinity Publisher will help you. And the reason why is because Affinity Publisher is what Adobe said Adobe InDesign was going to be when it was released. I remember everybody was excited. My friends were all excited. I was excited. We made pranks. We took. I have a friend that took screenshot of the tools from Photoshop and Illustrator, and he opened Adobe PageMaker. I remember that. You guys probably don't even know what PageMaker is. PageMaker is a desktop publishing. It was the competition of. I'm trying to remember, but I haven't used it. Quark Express. Quark Express was the industry standard back then. And InDesign was supposed to be the panacea, the Swift Army knife for publishing, for publications and other stuff, where you will have, so you open PageMaker, he opened PageMaker, and he make a fake a fake title screen for the top of the the top of the window that say Adobe InDesign, and he put all the tools of Photoshop, Illustrator, and PageMaker there, and he said, "Hey, look, I have a beta of Adobe InDesign." I said, "What? That's cool!" And he started laughing because that. But that's what we were expecting. That's what we were sold back then. Affinity Publisher is everything Adobe said Affinity InDesign was going to be for me. And when I saw this, I really fall in love with it. So I hope you like it. So if I'm a little biased, yes, I'm a little biased because I've been sold to I download it, I try it. They send me they send me a link for a beta test when Affinity Publisher, and I tested and I said, wow, this is awesome. This is awesome. You know how much time it takes you to work with when you're in a publication, and then out of the sudden you had to retouch a picture, you had to open Photoshop, then you notice that the logo needs some tweaking. A customer complain and say, I need to change something in the logo. Okay, so you need to open Adobe Illustrator. Now in here I don't have that. Someone called me, hey, can you change something on there? Oh, sure. And I press Affinity Designer, and I do whatever change I need to do to the logo there. Are you getting do you understand my excitement? I use InDesign for almost 10 years, and I loved it. It was my go-to tool. I sold my company to make the move to Adobe Creative Suite so we can have all the suites, and I was that guy. But now this has changed my mind. The only reason why the company that employ me still have Adobe is because some things has to be done on the marketing industry standard Adobe. But with me, they're safe because if something happened that with the inflation goes up, they don't have to worry because I have Adobe. I don't depend on Adobe to do my job, and I don't use Adobe at all in my freelance. So keep that in mind. I understand this image belongs to someone else, and if you're making a publication, you should accredit the photographer, even if they tell you you don't need to give me attribution. Give attribution. Always give attribution. Ooh, I forgot. This is a AK. And I'm working in a full resolution, not 8K resolution. So you see, these images are almost perfect. I'm gonna crop this. Normally you should put this on an image, what is called an image image frame. But is there something I hate in Affinity Publisher? Is the image frame. I despise the image frame. if you know what I mean. Oh no.
I didn't understand that.
Stop listening to me. I forgot to turn off Google. I really despise the image frame but it's there if you want to use it. I can use it here so you can see. um, for my way to work, they are really annoying, but I'm going to move it. Okay, I'm gonna keep it there. Since I already make a crop, you can right click on it and you say convert to picture frame. So now it's a picture frame, and you can move it. You can it's still the picture frame is still in the same place, so you can move it here. You can resize here. You can rotate. Wait, it's not doing it. Oh yeah, it's doing it. Yeah, the frame is still straight, but I rotate it inside the frame, so you can rotate inside the frame and all those goodies. But for example, if I want to scale this, depending on this, every time it's not there, I just want it. No, I want it a little bit. No, I don't. It's really annoying. You see, I don't know if there's a way to avoid that, but very annoying. It's very annoying, I'm telling you. Very annoying. And since I moved it, now let me increase it. I messed it up. All right, so now let's see. Not done. All right, so for example, now that I got the image here, I'm going to change to the main layer. Let's say that I want to give more contrast to it. So I come here and I say brightness and contrast, and apply it to the picture frame so it doesn't affect everything in the page. And I hit brightness and I leave a little contrast. So you see that I can make those retouch in here. Let's see what other adjustment we can apply. Then we have vibrance. I want to make it really bright or flat. I can do that here too, and increase the saturation of the color. Pretty sure it's really good like it is. So I'm gonna put it back here, and let's see the saturation. Yeah, if you wanna make saturation, if it's for printing, that's a very bad idea. Now, so you can make basic photo retouching here, and either also you can make basic basic masking, and that's how you're gonna make the overlays. So for example, I'm going to select the rounded. You have basic also vector shapes that you can use, and you have your pen. You can draw vector here, like in InDesign, all this stuff. But there's things that are more powerful here, and I'm gonna show you later. But now let's make a basic layout. Let's say that I want to make an overlay with the American flag, and it's gonna be a chat intermission page like I did with the other two. So right now I draw a rectangle with curve. I'm gonna make soft edges so it doesn't need it too sharp. and I'm going to make this 1920 by 1080, and pressing shift so it maintain that ratio. I'm going to position where I want the screen to show, and I think that's perfect. And then the camera, I can copy this. Ctrl J. I got the camera. So I'm doing a basic intermission layout, no animations or anything. Probably the next set of videos, I probably do Blender, how to create elements for your videos, animated elements with Blender 3D. But you tell me what would you like to have. And I forgot that I closed by mistake the chats. Let me open back the chat. Here we are, and let me mute it so it doesn't so let's see. Also, you can, if you want to chat on the live stream, I don't know, this YouTube Studio app on the iPad. I don't get it. To tell you the truth, I don't get it because I go to content and I go to live, and I cannot see the stream that I'm having right there right now. So I can see the chat on here, but what I can do, I just go to YouTube here, YouTube, and let me lower the volume just in case. Change the account, switch account, designer's gate. All right, so I have the stream there. So now I can close this. It's taking too much space on my OBS. All right, so now I have this, and I'm gonna work faster. Sorry for that. Sorry the interruptions. Gonna be a black. Oops. I'm gonna copy this. I'm gonna take it out of there, and I'm going to crop it. And I'm going to change the color of this, and I can come to the colors, double click on that, and go to dark, black, and 80%, so you can see through it. And then I'm going to remove, should I do that? Studio, let's say what I have here. What can I do? What can I do? I do constraint effects, fields, hyperlinks, navigator, pinning, preflight. So we had to do the, even though we can make transparent, or no. Let's do this. Let's see, what is this? The screen. I'm gonna name this the screen, and I didn't practice this. I'm doing this all live because I want to see how frustrated I would get if I'm you that had never used it. So I'm gonna change this to the camera. So now I'm gonna try something. Screen, and let me see. Oh, I thought that I saw. Let me see. I thought I saw an option to reverse masking, but no, there's no. So I thought that I saw that option here, but you can do the green screen. Is either way is the same. So this using the basic stuff of Publisher. I'm checking the chat, sorry for that. so now I have this. I have the. I think someone's hacking my computer. All right, so let's do something fancy here. I'm going to do that, but then I'm gonna come here because this is a special object. So if I come here, it doesn't give me any options of what I can do there. But if I right click and I say convert to curves, now I can use the vector, the node tool, and I can make changes here. And now I'm going to make another one here. Looks kind of about right. And just eyeballing, so we don't waste too much time here. Come back to curves. Do I have any? Come on, Control G or Command G to group. And I'm going, oh, I can do this. Rasterize. No, I can do that. I can rasterize. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to group this. Now it's a group, and I can I'm trying to think if I can make a mask. Let's try that. So and I'm gonna group this. And I'm gonna group that. I don't know if this is gonna work. I'm just guessing. I'm guessing. So I'm making like a mask. I wonder what is this? Did I copy? Yeah, I made a copy of that. So I I got this, and I'm gonna see if I can use this as a mask, and it's not. I wonder. I'm gonna do something else. Come on. What? What you doing? Let's see. Where's that option? What's that option for? Max to below. Where is it belong? Oh, I don't know what's that. So let's forget about that. Bad idea. And let's keep doing what we were doing. Going to delete this. We don't need it. And I'm going to change this. Green screen. Let's keep it with a green screen. So now I'm gonna select the pass-through here. It doesn't work like you think it would have might. So soft light, no. Later color, no. Overlay would be nice. Something basic. So now that we have that, I'm gonna copy this. Something basic. Something very basic. And let's select a text. Hey. Sinus gate. And as with photo and designers, I can apply an outer shadow. What is a drop shadow on Adobe Photoshop? Increase the opacity, decrease the opacity, or increase. I don't want the offset, I want the strength. Hit OK, and now I have a shadow that I can edit later if I want to change it. And I want to change this from bobbins to something more more artistic. No. Probably. No. It has to be readable as well. Yeah, like that. Discount it. That one is cleaner. And then I'm going to select an area here. I'm going to make that black. And this is where my social the social animation is going to show up. This is for the chat. I'm going to widen this a little bit. Same thing I'm going to do with this. With shift to enlarge, maintaining its ratio proportionally, and there it is, something basic. My socials are going to be there. There you go. So this is pages 3. There you go. So now it's gonna save and it's gonna froze the transmission while it loads. It seems that it's going. So it's saved. I hate that window. Put to sleep on my hard drive, even though when I set it up not to, especially during a transmission. All right, so I got that done. Got that there. Perfect. So now I'm going to export this. So I'm hitting Control Shift Alternate S. Ignore. I'm not using pre-flight. Pre-flight, it tells you, it gives you warnings about things that probably won't print properly, but we're not printing this on the press, so I could turn off pre-flight when you're not using it. For example, it might it might be telling me that my images are too close to the edge, that I need to leave a margin, and of course that will help you creating in a publication, but not for what we're doing now. So ignore and continue, and I'm going to change this JPEG, the highest quality possible, 1920 by 1080, and it's gonna be page 3 because this is page 3 only. I don't want anything in it. I go to export, and I'm not doing a thumbnail, I'm making an overlay. So I'm going to my overlays and I say Affinity. Let's change this to test scene overlay, and I save that. And now overlays, and I have my overlay there. So in the transmission, I'm going to change this from studio mode to the regular. So now I'm going to change, the page is going to turn black, but don't you worry, I'm going to start adding elements there. So here we go to the test. Yeah, you can hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me. All right, so I have the microphone only, so you only hear one. I should put the text. Um, bootstrap, bootstrap. So the difference I did here, bootstrap. Okay, bootstrap intermission screen scene. All right, I say okay, and I'm gonna reduce this so you can see what I'm doing. Don't get scared that you cannot see me. Oh, my screen goes black. My screen goes black. The, the, this idiot doesn't know how to make a transmission. No, I'm aware of this. So right now what you have, this is gonna be my bootstrap. I'm gonna bring that overlay. So I'm going to add an image here. And that image is gonna be the test overlay. Okay, I'm going to browse for the overlay directory, and I'm gonna bring that there and hit OK. And now you should see the overlay. So should I bring OBS to the screen? Make sure that I'm not. Let me close this. No activity on the YouTube. No activity on Telegram. I had to make a quick break. Give me a second. Sorry for that. The device I'm using to monitor the chat, it was running out of fumes. But he's there, right? If you have any question, leave it on the comment on YouTube or go to my Telegram. You see here, that's my Telegram. Go there, subscribe, please. Subscribe. I'm building all this from scratch up. I had to scratch everything that I did before, so I'm starting over. I will appreciate if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Rumble, Cloud Hub, Truth Social, Facebook, play even farther. um, I have, ooh, I forgot to add, where is it, I forgot, I forgot to add, Odyssey there. Yeah, I'm sorry, Odyssey, but I will add it. I really like Odyssey. I don't know, um, but right now, please hit the like button, the notification sign, and subscribe to the channel. Uh, and if you want to help, you can help. Um, you can go to rvilla.us/support-channel, and you can help support my channel, and your name will appear here. So let's go to the test. Again. So this is what we had. I'm going to turn off studio mode again. So I'm going to bring no, let's do it there. Let's do it here. All right, so I have the image here. So first of all, I'm going to get rid of this green screen, and to do that, on the test overlay, actually I'm going to the full screen, and I'm gonna bring this here so you can see what I'm doing. So right now I have, let's go to the test. This is pointless. There's no way I can transmit if I don't show the screen. Sorry for that. What's going on? Why is it? All right, so I'm gonna show back the test. Sorry for that. All right, so I'm going to make this. I got the properties and the filters. I'm going to the filter. I'm gonna add a chroma key, test key to name it. So there you go. Now it's transparent. I didn't have to do much of anything because that was a perfect green screen. No shadows to mess that up. Ooh. Okay. So let me put that there. Probably move it here so you know that this is not an error. I'm just trying to work here, and I'm going to select this again, make it more subtle so it doesn't affect the things I'm doing. All right, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring a camera. So I do add camera, video source, video capture source. I'm gonna bring this. Okay, so now you're gonna hear double microphone, and I should be fixed now. Okay, so if you see a delay on the camera, it's because I'm using a phone as a camera. I'm testing the HD capabilities, and apparently it's not very good. So I'm going to put the camera in that area, and you know the camera is 16:9. That's why we did a 16:9 ratio. And I'm moving the camera behind the overlay, so it works perfect. Now I'm bringing the shot, so I'm going to add what was the shot? Oh, I'm using Telegram for my chat. Come on, subscribe to Telegram, follow me on Telegram, just look for me, K2S Gaming, search for K2S Gaming, at K2S Gaming, and follow me. I will appreciate it. And we can talk there. And I'm looking for Telegram. Here it is. There you go. That's my Telegram. I'm gonna crop the things that you already know. What is it I want to keep? And that's my Telegram. So I cropped it to fit this screen. Well, I hope that looks good. Yep, that looks good. There you go. Oh, Google, stop.
You need to update Bixby Basic commands to use this feature.
That's stupid, Bixby. Jesus. He's still alive? And why is listening to me? Why Xi Jinping is listening to me? So I'm gonna increase this. I'm gonna crop it with behind. Yeah, not much. There you go. So I'm gonna bring another of the stream elements overlays, and that would be my social rotation, and here it is. Put it there. Ooh, I need to refresh that. Loading awfully. Probably have to crop that. Always happening. I don't know why. So there you go. That you had my social rotation. I was checking the chat. Sorry, I had to put my iPad in the floor so I can connect it, because all my connection are with the studio lights. So all right, so I have that. Now I have to add the screen. And that's the main display. I'm gonna reduce that so we can see. So you can see I can crop what we don't need. You know. There you go. I'm gonna reduce this one, and I'm gonna set up go and send it back to the overlay. And now I can probably hide that. Cool. Now if I want to add something more, no, I already have the logo. I was going to bring the the media source, but I don't think it's necessary. Media source. Let me see. Animate DG. Oh. I'm gonna put it here. By me. Hold on the chat. So there you go. There you go. You see, we made a perfect overlay for OBS here with Affinity Publisher, and we didn't use any of the features of Designer or Photoshop or Photo. And I forgot that I promised you guys. I thought I was going to stop the stream now, but I promised you that I was going to show you the power of Publisher, right? So let's go back to the full screen. Oh man, I'm gonna try to do this in 15 minutes. So I'm going to duplicate this page. Duplicate. Yeah, I have that page duplication. So this is the one without any interference of without any Russian interference and without any Chinese interference. This one is going to have interference from designer and Photo, and probably only Photo. So remember that we had to do the green screen because I didn't find a way to mask this with two different objects and reverse the mask. That's what I was looking for. Probably it's there, but since I mostly do all the masking on Photo, I haven't studied how to mask much here in and I apologize for that. I thought I would be able to see basic vector tools like divide and all that stuff, but apparently they don't have it on Designer. I was looking for in View. I went to Studio, and Studio, these are all the docs that are available: effect, fields, find, replace, glyph browser, hyperlinks, index, painting, flight, stroke, styles, tables, table of content. That's mostly for books and stuff. Text frame, transformation. So I don't see any vector tools. Again, you're not expected to do those things. You're not creating logos or anything here. But look what happened now. So since we don't have those tools, I'm going back here and I'm gonna move this group out again. But this time, what I'm going to do, I'm going to check on the photo persona. You see it up here? Look up there. Look up there. Where I'm moving the mouse. There it is. I'm changing to Photo. Now all the things that are in Photo, and Photo is not open. Look. You see down here? Do you see Photo open? You see the Do you see this icon there? You don't, because it's not open, but it opened through Publisher. It's good. So now when I'm with that selected, I think I click on the control and click on the thumbnail, and it makes a selection of that. So now I can come here. I'm gonna hide that so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm gonna select to mask. That's not what I want to do. So I select that, and then I Control Shift I for invert a selection. Control Shift I, and the selection has been inverted, and you'll see it now. So I'm going to do the masking. So now the mask, and this is using the photo. So as you see, if there's something that you cannot do in Publisher, you can go if you have Photo and Designer. For example, start small. You don't want to do logos or anything, or like that, just real quick stuff. And you want to cover with Inkscape while you can afford something, start with Publisher and then use Inkscape or Illustrator if you still have Illustrator. If you have you haven't changed your mind of, if you haven't changed your mind of switching to Affinity, or is Affinity so cheap that you can afford having both, then you go back to Illustrator, you do vector stuff and bring it to Affinity. Affinity opens Illustrator files, photo PSD files. Even it doesn't open direct InDesign files, but if you when you export, when you package, when you pack an InDesign file, when you click on package, the people that use InDesign understand what I'm saying. It will always do an IDXML file. That IDXML file, you can open it with Publisher, and it will bring most of everything that you have there. Probably had to tweak, but so meaning that if you switch and you forgot to transform a publication into a PDF, because you can open a PDF directly on Publisher. But if you forgot to do that and you only have the IDXML file, you can open the IDXML file. It will be translated by Publisher. Good. All right, so now I'm going to deselect. So now all the key binding are photo key bindings because you have the application. I don't know. I haven't tested. Probably I will uninstall Designer and Photo and test how Publisher behaves without Photo and Designer. But maybe not. Anyway, so now I have the same layout but with transparent, so I don't have to apply a green screen. The advantage of that is that you use less memory when you're transmitting, so your CPU are not being used to calculate removing the green screen, because I already have a green screen in my bag, and having a green screen on the overlay Chroma Key, then you're putting more pressure into your streaming. If you don't have a good system to stream and work at the same time, probably it's not much if you're doing tutorials like this. But if you're doing gaming, that's something different, because the game is gonna use a lot of resources. So you have to think about that. All right, so now I can come here and I can go back to Publisher, and I keep that there. All right, so let's say that you have a rectangle and a circle, and you want to combine them. There's no tools, as you see around here, there's no tools to do that. But if you come to Designer, now you have your tools here. You have the add, you have the subtract, the intersect, the extrude, and the divide. Divide, it works like the divide on Illustrator. Keep in mind, this is not as perfect. The mathematical algorithms, that's a mouthful for me. Mathematical algorithms for Affinity designers are not as good at Illustrator. And I'm surprised because Serif is not Serif, the maker of Affinity, the Affinity. This is not new for them. They used to have another application for vector, and so there are many things that when you go to the forum of a publisher, they complaining. But you had that with your previous application. I forgot what was the name of the application that it was like like InDesign, and there's a lot of people that loved it. I didn't know about it. I didn't know about Affinity. It was, I don't even know how did I learn about Affinity? Oh, Windows Store I was looking for Photoshop on the Windows Store, and it was not on the Windows Store. I want to see if there was a possibility uh, to edit photos without having to install anything with that Windows S. But and I found photo. So it's in the Windows Store, and this is the one that you see. That's why when I share a window capture on OBS, you cannot see it because the Windows Store is not allowed to share other screens, even if it belongs to the main screen. For example, the publisher, when you have when you click on an effect, this is attached to the admin user. So because in OBS a window capture is attached to a specific window, this window is not considered part of that window. I don't know if the other application like that. I was reading about it. I really don't understand the logistic of that, but there you have it. There you have it. Now I have all the things. So let's try them all. So now this become one object. So if I go to the image, the node tool, you see that they are one object. Now let's go back and let's do, what was that one? Subtract, and the one in top is subtract of the one in the bottom, right? Intersect, only the intersection is kept. What was the name? The SOAR. That's what mostly I use when I do layouts, overlays on designers. And division, that it works mostly like Illustrator, but let me see if it did it this time. No, it looks like it did a good job now, but the more complicated it is, you see that there are many things that pieces. You see pieces that are like artifacts. So that's something that you have if you do a lot of divisions like that to make your logos, you have to adapt, not to make too much complication. To see how can you divide step by step or something like that to avoid many artifacts and empty objects in the screen, because even in Illustrator is not perfect. Sometimes you have to clear, and I wonder if this has a clear empty. Now I have to investigate on that. But as you see, now I can do all this on Publisher because I have Designer with it. And this tool, the corner tool, is not on Publisher, but I have it on Designer. So I can select this. Oh, I can select these corners, and I say I want those curved, and I can curve them there because I have the tool on Designers. So if I go back to Publisher, now everything is there, and even though it doesn't have the tool, I still keep I think I can still, can I? Oh no, because right now I don't have the, can I double click? No, but if I select, it will show me the corner. No, so you have to go back, but at least you can keep it and it's there. And if you open an image from, for example, I did this in Designer, that it was the cover for the video that I made previously. So there you have it. Now I can open it on Publisher, and I have all the layers there were on Affinity Designer. I didn't lose anything. So it has this advantage. I didn't leave this Publisher for anything. So there, my friend, I'm gonna export this again. Ignore as a PNG now, and it's gonna be page 4. Export, and where is my, oh, it won't show. Test PNG overlay. Save it. Now I can come to the test here. Let's go back to the test, and I'm going to delete the test overlay. Yes, and I can bring that over. I'm gonna do image test. I could just test overlay. I could just replace the image. So I'm going to select PNG overlay, test of PNG overlay, and OK, and move it on top of the main display, and there you go. No green screen in there. So I hope you like it. I hope you like this video. That's it. I hope you like it. My review. I think Affinity has done something remarkable, amazing with their application. I really love it. And my screen go black. My iPad. Am I still transmitting? Yeah, I'm still transmitting. Why is still loading? There you go. There you go. So there you have it. There you have it. Affinity has done something amazing, remarkable, and it was what I was expecting of Adobe InDesign back 12 years ago, I think it was. It's what I was expecting InDesign to be. And Designer and Publisher and Affinity and Serif had made that with Affinity Publisher. It's worth the try. If you want to try it, they have a trial that you can try all 3 of them and work the workflow, do your job, and do the job as you're used to work, to see if it works for you, if the workflow is perfect for you. Probably you can, if you can afford Adobe, you can have this on the side and use the workflow for simple projects, and then for more complicated designs, then you go back to your Adobe. But for me, it has replaced, for me, Affinity has replaced, because for the workflow, I can manage the little cons that I've had found. I can overcome those. Just put in the chat back. And I know many of you can. I've been doing graphic design since I was in high school. Um, I hope some of my friends are watching, since I published it on my personal Facebook that I was going to transmit. Most are the most of them are Spanish speaking person, so I might do some Spanish tutorials too. Just leave a comment below if what would you like me to do some Spanish tutorials, since many people don't like when you don't know how to speak English properly. I'm not doing an English lesson here. This is not to learn English or learn perfect orthography, English and orthography. This is for design, and design is a universal language. Either, no matter what what's your language, you're gonna do the same design, same crops, same mathematics, same algorithms, same coding. Um, and, and that's it. I think that's it. I should put. I noticed something here. The main display should be below the camera. Yes. So yeah, that basically Affinity Publisher. I think you should give it a try because it's an amazing. And if you're not a professional graphic designer and you just wants to have tools to make stuff for your videos, Publisher will do most of the job. But consider, just try them all. Probably many people for motion graphics and all that stuff will might use better to create elements for DaVinci Resolve and stuff like that. You can do better graphics with Designer that are cleaner vector graphics. Or if you're a fanatic, a fan of photography, you can do Affinity Photo for photo retouching. You have all the tools that you need. You can develop raw images and all the stuff in Affinity Photo. For me, this suite is one of the best in the industry right now, and it's because of the workflow. There's many other applications that are not Adobe, that are not subscription based like this one, but it's the workflow that you see right now, moving from one application to another without having to open other application. Everything at hand, quick, right away. You need to retouch a photo, I open Affinity Photo. I need to retouch, move a line or something on an icon, I just go to the Affinity Design persona. That's amazing. And everything accessible in Affinity Photo will be accessible to you directly on Affinity Publisher. That, my friend, that's unmatched. Right now, I don't know if Adobe decide to do that in the future, and they have to do it with iPad, because I can work. Right now, I can save this, package it, and save it on the cloud, and then open it in iPad on Affinity Photo, and I don't lose anything. All the pages, you're gonna have an option below in Affinity Photo where you can navigate to pages. It will not be like in this screen that you have all the pages on the side. Now you only see one page at a time, but you see that it says four. You're in page 3 of 4, so you don't lose anything. Your masters are gonna affect all the pages like normal. It's amazing. They did a remarkable job. It's a team working together. It's not like you notice that the teams in Adobe doesn't work together because you have things behaving differently in all the applications. There's no constancy. In Affinity, all the 3 applications have a constancy of tools, constancy of language, constancy of flow, constancy of effects, constancy of adjustability, and other stuff. all the things that are common between the three are consistent. And this has been long enough. That's enough. Please, if you like this video, subscribe, hit the bell button, like this video, share with your friends, subscribe to my other pages in Cloud Hub, Odyssey, BitChute, what else, Gab. Follow me everywhere. I will appreciate it. And if you want to help support the channel, you can support the channel by give me tips if you want to, the stream element tips, all done through a secure server. I will appreciate it. Thank you for watching. Take care of yourself. Happy designing, happy coding, happy gaming. See you then. Bye.